Speak. I have a confession. I was too hasty to judge you. I thought you witless, gutless, unimpressively bland. I don't pay compliments. I only say what is true. You've proven me wrong at every turn. You are efficient, dominant, courageous. I swear, you would tear the horns off one dragon for plunging into another. You've gained my respect, and more still, my yearning. When I come near, your odor alone is enough to make my neck sweat and my hairs stand on end. Isn't it obvious? I want to taste you. Perhaps tonight, perhaps later, but I want it all the same. Do you? Your loss, I fear. One day soon, you will wonder how my lips might have tasted, how my fingers on your skin might have felt, and you will wish you could return to this lost moment. Speak. If you must know, Vlaakith requires everything of her children. I can't count how many bruises I've inflicted. Can't measure how much blood I've drawn in the Undying Queen's name. I know only blood red and death black. My mind is silver, and my body steel. I am what I must be, say what I must be, to survive every beast I face and every wound I bear.
Well met.
How can I help? How can I help? Would that I could. But your entourage is full. You'll need to make room for me first. Back in the thick of things at last. Oh, how exciting.
Well met.
I'd love to join, but I don't think there's enough space for me to squeeze in. Let's make this happen.
I applaud your taste.
The pride of the gate.
Let's move.
Hello, my dear.
Thy wheel of fate turns ever to the dark. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead? The bard's death is a weight for thine own conscience to bear. She will be left to the peace of eternity, where the urge shall seek her no more.
I was hoping you'd come to chat. What do you need? What's next, I wonder? My faith protects me.
What to do?
Have you wondered what people will say when they find out the monster hunter is becoming a monster?
I've faced countless perils and conquered them all. This will be no different.
I've always had a soft spot for the confident ones. They always disappoint, though.
Have a lot on my mind. Well, in it. Oh.
I take it you have some suggestions?
The Wizard Wonder. Or how about the Master of the Weave?
Tempting. But I think we might already have the maximum number of theatrical titles.
The dog lowers his hackles, his head tilted inquisitively. Convinced that you're harmless, he turns his attention back to the corpse. Around his neck is a collar etched with a name, Scratch. With a deep, heartbroken whine, the dog bows his head. The dog whimpers nervously, as if to urge you on. The dog looks at his owner with sad eyes. He does not move. The dog sniffs your hand, his tail swung low in understanding. He knows how to find you.
There is work to do. I saw you training those children. You're so gentle. That's not how I was taught.
Cruel words strengthen neither heads nor hearts, Shadow.
I wouldn't quite say that. I learned a lesson, after all.
came to resent your tutor, I bet. I taught them to fight, not to hate.
You have my attention.
Blade at the ready.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
So, Will, what was the Blade of Frontier's toughest kill?
Ah, it was a great scrap. A hungry minotaur with a hankering for human flesh. An axe-bearing mountain of fur she was. Gave me a nasty scar.
I hope you don't mind if I don't ask to see it.
Key. Wonder what it opens.
One horn. The stink of Avernus. Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you. Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the Blade of Frontiers, but
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood, the Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her! That's enough to damn you!
Will catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
You don't know what you're saying! You're asking me to trust a devil!
You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlach, but you already knew that. And you are... Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background, if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. It turns out I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going. Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. Then we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faerun by their short hairs. Sound good?
I like her. She looks like she could throw me over her shoulder and carry me to safety, should the need arise.
I'd hug you if it wouldn't scorch your skin off. No room in your party. What should I do?
I'll get little rest, given a stack of unread books waiting for me. But I'll try.
Now we're talking.
Her. Will with a Y. Why?
Why? That's right.
But why?
Why? A great uncle's name, my father said. But I just figured he couldn't spell.
Karlach and Will seem to have put their differences aside. I thought it was going to come to blows for a moment.
So, Will, now that we've made peace, how about we get to know each other properly? What's your story?
Not so much a story as a pantomime. And I've played my part all too poorly.
I would too. Go on, Will. We're listening. Who sicked you on me?
You're not the only one who's had a villain's knife held to your throat, Karlach.
You make it sound like a harvest of devils coming for you, Will.
You're closer than you know. One night soon when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll face my penance. You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me. Well met.
Hey, soldier. Trust me, I'll tell you all about it after we take care of the goons on my tail. Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about? Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you?
It'll come back to you. Maybe you'll recognize something we passed, or maybe we'll find out what happened to you. I get the feeling we've got a long road ahead of us. I hope we find you some answers along the way.
Why are we slowing down? I don't think so. At least, I still remember everything. In more detail than I wish. But, as for what's going on in your mind, maybe in mine, I'm certain there are answers out there. We'll find them together. Well, look. You've said it, right out loud. That takes guts. The guts you'll need to change. Or at least make sure you're channeled in the right direction. I've got enough enemies who could do with a good bloodletting, you know? Yeah, let's go straight there. Whatever those fucks are getting up to, it's nothing good. Just to say, by the way, they're not really paladins. Lackeys of the Archdevil playing dress-up as paladins of Tyr. No honor among devils.
There's no time to waste.
Damn, it's good to be alive.
I've got a long road ahead.
What's the story?
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
Where am I needed?
Let's get on with it.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
I was hoping you'd come to chat. What do you need?
Well met.
What's the story? Those paladins I need to stomp are that away.
I thought we were going to see some real sparks fly between Will and Karlach. It's almost a pity things ended so amicably. Seeing those two duke it out would be fun.
Karlach's got the brawn of a warrior and the wiles of a survivor. Best of all, she speaks her mind plainly and fully. Show her due respect.
A devil and devil hunter standing shoulder to shoulder against a common enemy. Rather poetic, I think.
Hey, we're still going after those paladins, right? Can't leave Zariel's bruisers roaming the coast.
Good news. Can't wait to see him finished.
Looks empty.
Pride of the gate.
Can't give up now.
Please, no more. Leave us in peace and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please, we just want to go home.
There's something in the squint of his eye. You suspect he's lying.
Enough! Enough! I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlach, You're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
The furnace was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back!
Again, for a lonesome neighbor.
Here we go again.
Battle favors the fearless.
Got to focus. Heading there. Let's see.
This is gonna feel good. Need to learn the hard way.
Let's finish this.
No holding back.
I won't give in.
Can't afford to let up.
Let's go.
None over with.
Can't give up. Not now.
Close at hand.
My turn.
Need to stay focused.
Well, so much for peace. Dissolve.
You misshapen flesh lover.
All by my hand.
A hero at heart.
That'll have to do.
No one will ever believe this.
Fuck them. Fuck Zariel. I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash. That's right, she won't. She can't. She couldn't even lay a finger. Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots. Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look? Careful, soldier. If I burn any hotter, I might explode.
Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close till I've found a way to calm it down. High pain tolerance, and a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A Tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him. Who knows? Maybe I can run like this indefinitely, but maybe not. Thanking you. A tune-up would give this rust box of mine a new lease of life.
Karlach's temper is a sight to behold. She'll need to be careful. That rage will burn her right out.
Karlach's all fire and fury. I pray to the Triad it doesn't consume her.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
Here I go.
What can I do you for? The year, 10 Air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, start making up for lost time. But not today. What can I do you for? First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic round here, right?
You know, I've been catching myself smiling more lately. I was hoping you'd come by.
Ah, my favorite traveling companion.
Isn't it glorious? Karlach's fury is a wonder to behold.
Well met.
How can I help?